abusuafo ntesi ayakoyese former president Adu Akufo-Addo ni 8 years no enkofo no omo ebedi adwuma ewo ye oman Ghana mu enkofo no omo bebu ye oman Ghana ne de in fact omo afa ho adupu oman a enya asem totoa abusua wotie attorney general Dominic Ayine ne nsema ode atudwa edefa Dr. Adu Boahen na chese papai atumi awia oman na enya asem totoa na wotie sika ye papa Dominic Ayine ebubu na chese ano edin $7 million na afaha chese we ya na chese afaha asisi pepe amno wa kasa ade a ochera police fo atumi afa ye papa Adu Boahen chese hwehwemu ekoso chese ono na japade a waye yina no abusua hwehwemu ekoso ewo ho enya asem koto abusua mbesem kasa bono pese yeko yegokotie ye papa Dominic Ayine the attorney general na nsem a ode atudwa efa Adu Boahen ho enya asem koto no chese krono fitapa na MPP ene na ban chese omo bae 8 years no chese omo de abo oman Ghana chese enya asem koto ani na sesesi no ade a Adu Boahen police for ensa so no den a enye easy me person kasa bo no pese ye kone kokoti nsem no enchirem na abehya no nso ade ama ensa busu ha eda so aye media jesu se enne ne de lika won channel so e be so subscribe my bobo notification bell so for more political update yeti nsem attorney general Dominic Ayine ade atudwa efa Adu Boahen ho na busua sika obobo pa sika millions of dollars papa ade atudwa abusua ano eden message also be hwe na so betie audio no amanasi se ne be ya obenya ntiase obete ensem a Dominic Ayine attorney general ade atudwa efa Dr. Adu Boahen abusia ye nche won ye tie no message ya that's
NSB, or the National Signals Bureau, is a successor organization to the now defunct Bureau of National Communications. Prior to the enactment of the NSB Act, that is the National Signals Bureaus Act 2020, which transformed the BNC into the NSB, Mr. Adu Boahen served as Deputy Director of the BNC and subsequently is Director from 2017. In other words, he has been in the management and control of Ghana's signal infrastructure since 2017. As the director of BNC, Mr. Adu Boahen was a co-signatory to the BNC's director's account at Fidelity Bank. While serving as director of BNC, however, he and his wife, Miss Angela Boahen, registered a company on October 23rd, 2018, which they named, and listen carefully, BNC Communications Bureau Limited. It is important to note that the similarity between the names here, that is BNC, was designed, to engage in a criminal enterprise, which will unfold as I go further. For purposes of differentiation, we will call the private company Private BNC and call Ghana's Signal and National Security BNC the National BNC. Mr. Adu Boahen, who is the head or who was the head of the BNC, and his wife are listed as directors of the private BNC. Okay, so they registered the company, and the two of them, together are the directors of the company, the two directors of the company. On October 26, 2018, the couple opened a corporate account for their private BNC at Universal Merchant Bank, UMB. According to the mandate on the account, either of the directors could sign checks and approve transactions on the account. In his capacity as director of the BNC, Mr. Adu Boahen on January 30th, 2020, signed a contract on behalf of the government of Ghana and the National Security Council on the one hand, and on the other hand, an Israeli company called ISC Holdings Limited. The contract was for the purchase of a cyber defense system software at a price of $7 million United States of American dollars. Let us call this contract the GOG ISC contract. On February 6, 2020, Mr. Adu Boahen then transferred an initial amount of 27,100,000 Ghana cedis, that is from the National BNC's operations account at Fidelity Bank to the private BNC account at UMB. Official documentation on the transfer revealed that the amount was for the payment of cyber defense system software, which the national BNC was buying from ISC Holdings in Israel. Mr. Adu Boahen, in effect, transferred the money from the national BNC to his private company, the private BNC. A review of the transactions on the bank accounts reveals that once the funds from the national BNC landed in the account of his private BNC at UMB Bank, Mr. Adu Boahen caused his private BNC to transfer an amount of 9,537,520 Ghana cedis to ISC Holdings in Israel. By the exchange rate at the time, this amount was the Ghana cedi equivalent of 1,750,000 United States of American dollars. To justify or facilitate the transfer of the 9.5 million and the 9.5 million, Mr. Adu Boahen fraudulently attached a copy of the Government of Ghana ISC contract as well as an invoice, which he held out as an invoice issued by ISC Holdings Limited in respect of the Government of Ghana ISC contract. On March 18th, 2020 and March 30th, 2020 respectively, he again transferred 21 million Ghana cedis from the National BNC Director's account at Fidelity Bank to the same private BNC account at UMB. The narration of the transaction indicated that it was for the payment of the cyber defense systems that the National BNC was buying. The transfer from the National BNC's account brought the total transfers that he made to his private BNC to 49 million Ghana cedis. By the exchange rate at the time, this amount was exactly the Ghana cedi equivalent of 7 million United States of American dollars. The exact full amount which he quoted as the price at which ISC Holdings sold the cyber defense equipment to Government of Ghana. All the payments transferred to the invoice, a number from ISC Holdings, all the payments reference the invoice number from ISC Holdings to the national BNC. Importantly, after the initial transfer of the 9.5 million Ghana cedis, which was the equivalent of 1.750 United States of American dollars from the private BNC to ISC Holdings, no further payments were made to ISC Holdings. A review of transactions on the private BNC account reveals that after the payment of the 1,750,000, Mr. wife began applying the rest of the funds for their personal use, making transfers to local third parties, personal investment, as well as transfers to unknown persons. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen of the media, we have all the account details, we have all the receipts, and any person who took money from Mr. Adu Boahen from that account, we know. Now, our investigation, which was conducted by EOCO, as I've indicated, has established that the ultimate beneficial, in essence, the difference between 49 million Ghana cedis being the money Mr. Adu Boahen transferred from the bank account of the National BNC to his private BNC, and 9.5 million being the money he actually paid to the ISC Holdings for the software, ended up with him and his wife. That is to say that the sum of 39,462,480 Ghana cedis of taxpayers' money went into it. The investigation has revealed that the ultimate beneficial owner of BNC Communications Limited is another company known as Advantage Solutions Limited. 10 other companies are through a very complex web of shareholding and directorship connected to Mr. Adu Boahen and his wife, Angela. Investigations have also established that monies mostly proceeds of crime from the Advantage Solutions Limited and BNC Communications Bureau Limited and other similar sources have been transmitted under very suspicious circumstances through the bank accounts of these companies. The investigations have revealed so far that the suspect and his wife have registered companies which we are currently tracking. We are tracking all the companies. There are about 10, of them that they created with Advantage Solutions mostly owning all the companies. For purposes of the investigation that is ongoing, we are not going to disclose those companies, but I want to warn any executive, director, or employee of each of the companies who, knowing that Mr. Adu Boahen has been arrested, if they make movement of assets, we will track and arrest them and prosecute them. So they are all warned. All banks are also warned that if we see any wire transfers or cash withdrawals on any of the accounts belonging to Mr. Adu Boahen and his companies, the bank managers and all their employees who are involved in those transfers will equally be arrested. Activity, and we are monitoring all their bank accounts from the Financial Intelligence Center. With the press of a button, we can see the movement of money, on any of the accounts. So we are monitoring that very, very closely. We know, for instance, that the 3 banks that they have been dealing with, in substantial financial transactions are UMB, Fidelity Bank, and Stanbic Bank. So we are monitoring them keenly. And the managers of this bank, if they are listening to me, should be careful about what they do on any account connected to Mr. Adu Boahen and his wife and their companies. The investigations also established that the proceeds from the suspects' activities were used to buy significant landed properties and other assets of considerable value both in Ghana and elsewhere. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the press, my fellow countrymen and women, I want to give you a sample of what we have discovered so far. We have tracked most of the assets. So the properties that are in their names, their joint names, or sometimes in their in their individual names, are as follows. We have number 2 Stream Park Drive, Mayfair Estates, LA, that is Accra. For that, they deposited, and we have the deposit slip as well as the receipt from the estate developer, $1 million United States of American dollars. Number 6, Edith Avenue, Mayfair Estates, Accra. Deposit 500,000 United States of America. That's American dollars. That's the initial deposit. All right. Then we have number 7, Edith Avenue, Mayfair, 200,000 United States of America, the property. Number 8, Edith Avenue, Mayfair Estates, Accra, 97,815 United States of American dollars was deposited for that property. But we are sure that other cash payments were made to complete the purchase and then the transfer of ownership. So we are tracing all those documents. Number 9, Edith Avenue, Mayfair Estate, 270,000 United States of American dollars deposited, initial deposit for the purchase. Number 10, Edith Avenue, Mayfair Estates, Accra, 150,000 United States of American dollars deposited. Now he also owns a company known as Vertex Properties. Vertex Properties, and we've traced the proceeds of crime to Vertex Properties also. They have Vertex Properties owns